In the book The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison, readers learn how Piccolla's experience supports the theme of how societal standards can affect the societal conditioning of people. Piccolla comes from a broken family, being bullied at school and low self-esteem. Back in this time period, society valued blonde hair and blue eyes as a superior look. In order for Piccolla to feel better about herself despite her circumstances, she disregarded the beauty in her brown eyes. Instead, she fantasized about having blue eyes and soon came to really believe that her eyes were blue. This fantasy gave Piccolla confidence and made her feel like her life was more bearable. In today's society, more black youth are growing up loving their natural features because of social and mainstream media. These platforms show and uplift many successful and influential black people, giving black children someone to look up to that looks like them. Despite this positive representation, some of the black youth still fall short of realizing their true worth. They wear blonde wigs to cover up their curls or believe that another race is more superior than their own. These kind of black youth may suffer from failing to realize their worth because they don't understand the value in black representation, or they are trying to assimilate to white standards.
You just flat out say that black people are genetically inferior. But here's what the code says. For years, when people bring this up, I go right to the jugular on it, like I try to do on all issues dealing with race. I say, suppose black people, all of the black people on the planet, without exception, or even the majority, you might say, are just inferior people, genetically inferior. I mean, their brains just don't work. That's just all it is to it. Suppose that is the case. What do you do on this planet with a huge number of inferior people, people who have the label? Everybody's done the research and agreed. These people are just flat out inferior. They just ain't got it. I don't care what you do with them. I mean, they just don't have it. Now, that's a question. What do you do with people like this? You practice justice. You do the same thing with inferior people that you do with superior people, or any people in between. You practice justice, meaning you guarantee that no one is mistreated, and you guarantee that the person that needs help the most gets the most constructive help. The solution is still the same.
I want my grandbabies listening to that rap crap. When Cynthia called me and told me she was pregnant, it made me totally sick to my stomach. I feel like my daughters have forgot the way I raised them, and I do not appreciate the way they live. Mixed breeds are not in my family, and now we have a black baby on the way.
So, Casey, you're here why today?
Well, my daughters brought me on TV to get my feelings out.
And what are your feelings about their fiancés or their partners?
Well, I'm not happy with the choices that they've made in their lives.
Right, like the partners they've chosen?
Yes.
Who would you have loved to have seen your daughters with?
I would love to have seen my daughters. Can we get a minute?
Are you really upset about this? Are you? What's so upsetting? What's so upsetting? What's the matter? What's the matter? Huh? What's the matter?
You're too sweet.
Are you worried that because I'm black,
No,
you don't want to tell me how you? No, because I tell you why.
The video talks about black people being indoctrinated to be inferior. The speaker in the video explains that black people are genetically inferior, meaning that it is something within them and it's a disease they were born with. He also talks about practicing justice, meaning that in order to make inferior people wholesome again, you should provide help for them in the most positive way. The video tells us about a woman who was deeply upset and offended by her daughters for dating black men and having their babies. The mother believes that if people see or know that her daughters are in interracial relationships, they will be judged and not treated the same. And she also believes that black and white is not supposed to be together because it's something she was brought up by. Basically, it was a rule that she was taught when she was smaller. So the mother believes that her daughters are supposed to marry or be with guys of her race, no matter what.
All-time high. Of course it's at an all-time high. Black votes consistently go high. Give me some examples. Dawn, we don't have enough time. Serena Williams won the Australian Open. Wow, she was 8 weeks pregnant. And don't forget, black women saved Alabama. 98%. And Uber shut off the boat. We got Issa, Ava, Lena, Oprah, and so many more. We got some black man magic too. Dapper Dan, a trailblazer in fashion, officially partnered with Gucci and opened up a Gucci store in Harlem. Rich Dennis, the brothers sold Shea Moisture, then made sure they established a fund to support black women, then bought Essence magazine, making it 100% black owned again. We made history in elections in Alabama, Virginia, and North Carolina. Atlanta got a mayor named Keisha.
Hey, Keisha.
Who taught you, please, who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate, you should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you? The most disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman. And as Muslims, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us to respect our women and to protect our women.
These clips represent the emancipation addressed in the introduction. Children are seen understanding the power, beauty, and success in black people. This represents freedom from social indoctrination because these black children are giving examples of representation in the black community. Representation is important in the black community because it gives the youth a chance to see all that they are capable of doing, regardless of their skin color or features. As black children see more successful black people, their minds will develop to realize the worth in their race.
The video based on Mr. Malcolm X's speech tells us that you should never hate yourself or your physical appearance or your race because it is the Most High who creates us and we should love and accept ourselves. He also talks about how the white men wrongfully arrest black people and that the most disrespected women in America is the black women. He also emphasized more on the subject that women should be respected and that you are not a man if you do not respect and protect the black women, for they are the backbone of our country.